Hello again. Here we are. Here I am, at any rate. I'd like to begin this week's introduction by both thanking you and encouraging you. Thank you for taking on the tasks for this first week. You are all engaging well and doing some really thoughtful work, so be encouraged. Keep up the good work. I'm confident that if you continue to work at this level, you'll find the weeks we are together to be rich and self-revealing. I certainly pray that that will be the case. I do want to remind you, however, that part of the discussion and participation element of the course is that you also engage each other. I'm engaged. I'm reading what you say. I'm thinking and responding to what you say. And I see some of you are also, but not all of you. So I want to point out to you that the syllabus does require that you engage each other. It says a substantive initial response of at least 250 words to each discussion question thread, and that you should post at least three substantive follow-up responses, both to my responses and to your classmates' responses. This is a discussion, even though it's online. Substantive means engagement. Telling someone that you think they are right or doing a good job. I call those written high fives. It's not enough. It's vital in a class like this one that you always explain why you think what you think. So a really important word is because. I think what you said is really important. I couldn't agree with you more because, or I think you're wrong because. So please keep that word because in the forefront of your mind and let that be part of how you engage the questions, how you engage me, and how you engage each other. It's certainly how I will engage the process. We don't have the opportunity to do face-to-face, so this is the best we can do, but it's up to you to make that happen. I'll be engaged. I'll follow the same rules, but we all really need to hear from each other. Well, this week we take on three new sort of tasks. A new textbook, Traveling Mercies by Anne Lamott, a study of one of two major Western philosophers, and some serious introspection through life mapping. I encourage you to read through the directions in the syllabus and online carefully before you engage each of these. I don't want you to do more than what you're expected to do, but I also don't want you to miss important stuff and do less than what you're expected to. So let me explain a couple of things related to each of these three kind of new things. Traveling Mercies. Traveling Mercies is a book by one of my favorite authors, Anne Lamott. I read everything by her I can get my hands on. Anne's a strong cup of tea. She doesn't hold back. There are few secrets to her life and her struggles with life and love and family and faith. She will challenge you. In fact, I'm pretty sure you'll be challenged by her. You might even find her at times a little hard to take. That's okay. You don't have to take her. You just have to read her, think about her, and engage her. Be sure to check out the rubric for your responses, again, so you don't do more than you have to. I hope what she'll do for you is what she's done for me, is to illustrate just how important and how difficult self-reflection can be. During weeks 2, 3, and 4, you'll have the opportunity to do some serious work with some seriously influential thinkers. Week 2, we will look at Plato and Aristotle. Week 3, the focus is on Moses and Jesus. And week 4, we'll look at two moderns, Descartes and Sartre, two French guys. I'm not going to explain about each of these to you. Your studies will do that. I want to explain to you why you are looking at least 3 out of these 6 persons. Each of these men, and yes, I know not all world changers are men, and I'm working on that for this course. But each of these men is seriously a big-time world changer. These are paradigm shifters. They change the way in the history of the Western world we think about nearly everything. These persons each impact the way, especially in the West, you and I here today see the world. Again, follow the directions carefully. What you do each time with them is somewhat different. Each week is somewhat different. You don't have to do both Plato and Aristotle. You choose one and follow through on the work. The syllabus contains all of the links you need to do this work. If you discover a link that doesn't work, let me know right away, please. Finally, number 3, you will be engaged in some serious self-reflection. In fact, I think in my first video to you, I told you that in some respects, that's what this course is all about. And the video, if you watched the video about the course and the connection between faith, living, and learning, also talks about this. You're going to do life mapping. I don't know if any of you have done that before, but I think you will find it a really interesting process. You're going to do 3 life maps, or 3 versions of your life map. For week 2, that's the coming week, it's a life events map. What you do is focus in on the kind of the easiest part of the map you'll develop. You're born, when were you born, where were you born, where you are today, and significant things along the way that happened to you that relate to where you lived, where you went to school, and so on and so forth. Week 3 is a relationship map where the questions and prompts will direct you into thinking about key individuals along the way who are very influential in how you live your life today. And week 4, you will engage in a life map that will explore your spirituality. What do you believe about the world you live in and people and so on and so forth? God, faith, and so on. There are directions and prompts for each of these. Again, be sure to read through the material first. I hope you've heard me say that over and over again. I mean, I know you've heard me say that over and over again, but it really is important for each of these activities that you pay very close attention to what is being described for you to do. Life mapping changed my life, changed the way I think about who I am, how I live in the world. I hope, in fact, I believe it will do the same for you. So, week 2 will begin in a few days. I'm looking forward to the journey. I'm looking forward to reading your initial reflection papers. Keep up the good work. Bless you. See you around.